22 years ago, 22 years and 2 months ago, a two-part episode on Sonic SatAM premiered. And to this day, I feel like this two-part episode could have easily been served as a two-part season premiere for Sonic SatAM. And that, of course, is Blast to the Past. Blast to the Past basically told the story of how Robotnik took over. But it was told in a way that was familiar and unique. Basically, the Freedom Fighters, mostly Sally, Bunny, and Sonic, went on a mission with two unknown Freedom Fighters, extras, if you will, or cannon fodder, whatever you want to call them, who ended up getting roboticized after successfully completing the mission. Overall, this causes Sonic to wish and desire to go back and stop Robotnik before he took over. This, of course, led to them being led by Dulcie, who premiered in this season, to take them to the legendary and mythical floating island, not the Knuckles one as far as we know, and use the time stones, which did appear in Sonic CD, to go back to the past by at least 10, 11 years, and try to stop Robotnik from taking over. Now, in case you haven't seen the episode, this is kind of spoilers. Unfortunately, they arrived a little too late, by at least a day or so. And all thanks to Sonic kind of thinking about chili dogs instead of the year. Yeah, basically they had to say the date and the year they wanted to go to until they got there. But Sonic, right at the very end, decided to think about chili dogs. So, there you go. Now, even though they got a bittersweet victory, Sally was able to get Rosie the nanny back, because I think she was the closest thing to family Sally had, and they were able to get the original roboticizer plans. It still was a bittersweet victory, because now they had the plans to kind of build the own de-roboticizer, to kind of take the plans of the original roboticizer and build a de-roboticizer out of it. Unfortunately, even though it had great animation and the story was good, we got to find out what happened to the king and everything. To me, I still argue to this day that Blast to the Past should have been the first two episodes, basically a two-part season premiere for Sonic SatAM. I know it's 22 years later, and yes, Starz has the series on demand as well as part of the weekday mornings. Between the 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock hour. But still, I feel like since now Starz has, in its possession, that they should rearrange it to when they start showing season 2 once again, because I'm not sure if they're showing season 2 right now or what, but when they re-show it in repeats, that they should start it off with Blast to the Past. They should, because it works decently as a season premiere. Now, I'm not saying that Game Guy wasn't good. I'm not saying that wasn't good. It was. And I can understand why Game Guy and why Sonic Conversion and No Brainer were before. Some of the animation on the characters was not complete. Like Bunny, she didn't have full colored black, she didn't have the black pimples, and she didn't have the black pupils in her eyes. They were still colored the same way they were in the first season. But to me, that could have been color corrected at any time. And by having Blast to the Past come on first, they could have had time to do that. But they didn't. But why do I believe it would have been a good season premiere? Well, one, you're starting the second season on an epic note. Okay? We don't know about the other Freedom Fighter groups yet. And it gives us an idea of what to expect in the second season. Now, I admit, towards the end of part 2, you kind of got that confirmation that Uncle Chuck was going to be okay. But still, they could have taken that out and added something else, like Sonic telling his younger self that someday Uncle Chuck's going to be his old self again. Don't worry about it. At least kind of give his past self, his younger past self, confirmation that Uncle Chuck was going to be okay, even if they haven't gotten to that point yet. But we were clued in on in season 1. You kind of get what I'm saying, right? The point is to me that they could have changed the dialogue a little bit on that, and still we would have had a good episode. I mean, because think about it. They got the original roboticizer plans. Perfect. That could lead into Game Guy. That could lead into Sonic Conversion for them getting the de-roboticizer up and going. You know, Blast of the Past Part 1 and 2 had all the elements to be a great season premiere. It would have like I said, it would have really helped us out with that second season. It really would have. I mean, yeah, Dulcie showing up out of nowhere, I admit, was kind of, I admit it's something they should have explained and talked about. But still, it would have worked, no matter what. Would have worked. And I think a lot of people listening do agree. Or would agree, I should say. Because, like I said, I'm not saying Game Guy wasn't good. I'm not saying that wasn't a good premiere. But if you want to start season 2 off on an epic note, and maybe in a sense try to keep a network like ABC intrigued and interested enough to probably give you one more season like they wanted to originally, I think starting with Blast of the Past would have done it. I really do. I really think it would have done it. I think it would have worked as a season premiere because it had all the elements. Again, you could have switched up some dialogue. You could have done, switched up some dialogue here and there, but still it would have worked. It really would have worked. It would have definitely served its purpose and would have gotten you hyped and anticipated for the rest of season 2 and to see what was going to come. So, to me, I look at Blast of the Past Part 1 and 2, and I still believe 22 years later, it would have been a better season premiere for season 2 of Sonic SatAM. Let me know what you guys think down below.